Good day, ZSR fans. Welcome to another A Link to the Past Randomizer, Survival of Hyrules. We have Game 2 of Semifinals Game 2, Magno versus Humbugh. Tracking today, we have Daruk and Leoria. And today on comms, with me here in the booth, we have Tofile, and we believe Jesse will be joining him shortly. But currently, Tofile will be deadlifting us our way to glory. How are you doing today, Tofile?
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Crosskeys is always great. That's our mode today. It's Crosskeys. One of these teams struck veterans, and Randobot decided to give us Crosskeys as penance. For those who are unaware, Crosskeys is cross-world entrance shuffle with full item key sanity. We won't know what our dungeon prizes are. We don't know where our keys are. We don't know where anything is for the most part in the overworld, and we're going to have to go check everything. So, this is going to be this is going to be a fun game. Between the two, I'd probably say Humbugh has a slight edge. He's generally a stronger Crosskeys player, but Magno is no slouch. And all it really needs to take to lose is just to kind of miss an item or two on your route and hard last location it later. So we'll see how this goes. Right now, Humbugh's team is currently up 1-0 in this best of 7 elimination tournament. His teammate Ariar, some guy who may or may not have world record NMG times for Link to the Past, took out 2C Plus, who is also a very, very skilled runner. So this should be really, really fun today. And Chris is talking about triple tipping Great Palace apparently. So today and Humbugh's MSU today is going to be Hollow Knight. So yeah, this will be probably pretty chill. Still waiting on the racer to get going. I'm not sure what's going on. Anyway, Krista, I hope you enjoy triple tipping Great Palace. So. I am doing fine today. Some coffee, sandwich, got some water over there. All right, our runners are starting off in a second. So. Krista, I blame the chickens. Chickens are never the answer. And away we go. Humbugh's opting to do a Sanctuary start. Brogder is going to do a... let's see if he does an Uncle start or if he does a Hylian start. He looks like he's heading for South Route to Keck. This is Chaotic Evil. Sanctuary today is going to be over in the Uncle drop-down. Some bombs starting means that we're going to be able to quickly check the back 3 items, plus whatever's in the main castle entrance. Humbugh's going to go try to... Brogder's... Magno is trying to go get a bunch of 50-50 pushes. Ooh, Capacity Fairy... That's a shame. Capacity Fairy is kind of nice, but I don't think any of our runners are going to take advantage of it because I don't think they're going to have the money for it. Magno is trying to farm 50-50 bombs. He's got 2. That's at least enough to get the entrances in Kakariko that he needs to. And hopefully he can get some more and find some rupees on a shop along the way. That's the bottom of Spiral Cave over at the Blade World Arrow game. Hookshot on the bottom of Escape, along with Akita GT. We have Pipe Cave over on the south side of Brothers Connector, with just Akita Pod, a couple maps, and bombs. Humbugh is going to south route into Kakariko as well, probably also going to try for some 50-50 bomb pulls. Neither our runners opted to do a Houlihan today. There's a big key on race game. Which is kind of a shame. Well, this is... looks like our stun prize is only blue rupee. This is kind of a shame, because this is... usually people will do that to get the money, and if you had the money, you could go buy... Spend 100 rupees to get 15 bombs right off the start, which would be really nice. We have Meyer Shed. I believe that was library. Money. Good. I missed what Joe need 2 bombs in. Oh, half magic. I should have seen that. Okay. We had maps to Skullwoods and Pod. Brothers Connector in South Kakariko. This is kind of a risky-ish play early on. You could get locked out while you're still early on in your route. You're not going to, because that's just the bomb hut. That is nice information. That's early-ish Dark World access. We're probably going to have to be walking through that connector a few times. Oh no. Well, we're getting boots this seed. Or unless something goes horribly wrong. Because that's our Moon Pearl at the library. That's Ice Rod Cave. I missed what was on the Smith's drop down. That was the Lumberjack drop though. And that's Thieves Town found for Humbugh at the Smith's house. Small key to swamp, always nice to have. That's the thing that blocks most of the dungeon, other than the flippers. Starting Hookshot means that Swamp Palace is going to be a pretty easy 100% short of the big cave, chest. Agina's Cave. Small key. That's one Skullwood small. We are playing on entrance randomizer, so there's a Skullwood small key always placed into randomizer room. Big key to desert, always nice to find before we even set foot into desert. If we get a fire source, we can even beat desert the first time we go by it. More than likely. Humbugh takes a death into Thieves Town to do a death warp. Definitely a small key. Humbugh is going to kind of retrace what Magno was doing on the south side of Kak. As Magno himself goes into Kakariko. Honestly, 600 rupees is really nice to start this seed off with. We find a shop, we get our bomb, we solve our bomb problems for a while. We also are clearly into Zora money and pod entrance money as well. Let's see. Yeah, Humbugh's going to opt to follow this. This is good for him. He'll get the knowledge that this will take him down to bomb shop. I don't think either runner will try to follow that. There are 3 entrances more you could check off of that connector, but those are very long 3 connectors, and especially once you see the Moon Pearl is over here, you're very likely not going to follow that for a little while, because you kind of don't want to isolate your the 2 item checks that are in South Dark World. on the overworld. So we'll see a little more convergence here. Both our runners are kind of heading... We have a dark cave. Unfortunately, I don't have... I do not have Magno's audio on, so I could not tell if that was the old man connector cave or not. It does not appear to be, but... He's now Smolky. Nice to have. That's our fairy cave, so that means that there is something behind Ganon today, Agatu today. What it is, we won't know. Oh, that's a bad. That's unfortunate for Magno. Hookshot is in the back of Escape, which is something that Humbugh will be able to go grab those 4 items immediately. We see the Fairy Ascension connector as well. Nobody's going to want to check that. That's a really slow... If it was potentially the other way around, you might. But nobody really wants to check that dropping down first in the middle of the route. Or at least right here in the middle of this route. That's a Quake Medallion. Medallions are a little less important in this mode. There's only 2 entrances that medallions can unlock, so Ether and Quake don't really have as much importance. Humbugh, I'm surprised at this. Unless he's going to go check Kakariko and then immediately reverse back in there, because he only has 3 bombs. That's actually a good consideration. Okay. I think we're being joined by Radical Sniper 99.
Good morning, or good afternoon, or good something, people.
How are you doing, Jesse?
I'm doing great. I love getting pinged for Crosskeys in the morning.
Everybody loves Crosskeys in the morning.
Exactly. I see one shot over on Humbugh's side.
Yeah, so Humbugh did a sync start, and then has South Route of the Cac. Magno kind of did a very unorthodox start, and just South Route of the Cac in general. So, unfortunately, Sank today was over at the castle, and the hookshots and Escape, the back of Escape. So, it's not something that's going to be evading Humbugh for... evading Magno for very long, but it is something he could have had the first time he came through. I don't think he missed anything in there other than... it looked like it was a big key to something. I don't know. It wasn't a big key because he's got one marked. Oh, wonderful. Magic Bat is our...
Everybody's favorite drop down to be at the Lumberjack, of course.
Yeah. I'm really surprised. Well, I guess doing Sank Start, you're hoping that you're going to catch yourself at Vanilla Sank or Fairy here. He'll discover that it's not. So right now we're still missing our 3. We have 3 drops that we haven't checked, and we're missing Thieves, Well, and Ganon. So,
and that's the thing. At this point, like, I definitely see... I'm not a big checker of... Like, I'm an Uncle Start for Crosskeys personally. So I really, I probably would have checked this earlier and gotten Hook myself.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the fairy drop down and the Sank drop down, I look for things to bring me to them, or
Yeah.
reasons to. And unfortunately, in this case, knowing that you don't have a lot of a real reason to is what kind of keeps you away from even checking those.
Yeah, I kind of forced myself into doing a whole hand start.
Yeah, and I know
that's
the meta play of the day still for this mode.
Yeah. Brogdor. So the one wrinkle to this is, though, we have actually seen. It was the Thief's Not Big Key. Okay. So the one wrinkle to this play is we actually have seen our Moon Pearl already, and it's at it's on the library ledge. So
And there's just fire hanging out at the cat or the Lake Hylia fortune teller.
Yep. So, of course, there's a big key there. I think we've now seen 4 big keys, 2 visual, and we've picked up 2. There's another one on race game.
So yeah, Humbug not going to even check out those other 2 drop downs at this point. And I agree. Like I'm in on that kind of play. I've avoided the meta play of Crosskeys because I feel like money just happens in this mode. Oh wait, is that Hotel Mario? We can pack it in, right?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for having me.
Looks like, okay, well, Humbug's just going to just do the meta now anyway, kind of.
And that's the thing, you kind of want to wait maybe a little bit until you can have something to be able to do. I feel like sometimes you walk into Witch's Hut and what do you find? You find something that needs bombs, a weapon, and you feel really bad knowing, well, if I just waited like 5 minutes, I would have had like a full array of bombs for this. Or you find Meyer and go, either way, this is terrible.
Yeah, you can't bomb Wizrobes. We can't actually kill Wizrobes.
You can bomb Wizrobes. It's just really, really hard.
Oh no, and that's Smith City's from Palace, which is about the worst possible entrance for them, short of Ice Red Cave. Yeah, Humbug just going to blind drop because he's either going to save and quit at this again, or this is the well, and he's happy.
And this is definitely a benefit here of having waited a little bit, being able to say, hey, I can at least get these items now.
Yeah.
Or at least the 5th one. And it's only money, but you like to be able to knock out everything here at the well.
Yeah. Okay, so right now we're actually kind of running... we're kind of running a little low. We have some entrances into the Dark World, but obviously knowing where the Moon Pearl is. I don't think either of our runners really want to, like, go in there unless they can find the boots first, so that way they can just knock it out. We have one unchecked connector that's in logic, which is, of course, the Fairy Ascension connector. Because that was in the middle of Kakariko. So who the hell wants to check that in the middle of your route?
Yeah, unfortunately, getting to Kakariko is not great in this seed. We don't have good start points. You really have Link's house, and that's it.
Yeah. Magno going to kind of do the same thing that Humbug was doing.
Well, and we might see Magno go in here to Meyer. With that Fire Rod, he's got some options. He can... Yeah. At least the kills here are not as bad.
Yeah. We also picked up half magic, so, this is not a bad play. You can probably even knock out the 2 Dark World checks. The 2 left side checks if you really wanted to.
And I think this early you have to.
Like, they're not in logic. Not much in here is actually in logic other than the lobby chest, the spike chest isn't even in logic, I don't think, technically. And just that rare case of where we just don't have enough health. And so there's like 3 chests in here that are currently in logic.
Yeah, if he can get a 4th heart, he can get that spike.
Yeah.
Because you will lose 3 hearts trying to get the spike.
Yeah. Well, that's...
Well, no, let me rephrase. He can get spike chest, he's just gonna die.
Yeah, so
Like if you do it properly, you will get the chest and then die immediately after opening the chest.
Ooh.
And that is why Magno says no thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, he'll get out the full magic right before, as he's climbing the stairs to do the cutscene chest. But still,
yeah, no, he's fine on the magic side.
Yeah, just missing a full. I don't know, missing a full magic decanters. No, it'll be fine. So neither of these checks are technically in logic. We don't. These require at least 2 or 3 Meyer small keys.
Yeah, these checks are 3 key locked.
With like, yeah.
Completely. Crosskeys logic is always 3 keys for these.
That's Bumper Cave at the dam.
I missed it. Was that the bumper side or the?
Sadly, it's the side that we can't cheat our way through.
Oh, okay.
So, gonna continue this long walk out the desert. Not sure if he'll check the item or not.
I will say Magno's doing a really good job not losing any health right now.
Yeah, that's a really hard thing to do in Meyer, especially with, like... There's a lot of enemies in here that'll do a little... Ooh. There's a lot of enemies in here that'll do a little chip damage. Let's see.
Yeah, so, like, if he can keep this up, he will be able to get that item and die.
Yeah.
So he'll Death Warp out with the spike chest at this rate.
You can try to avoid it. Avoiding damage in here is just, like, so many fireballs, so many little things that just kind of come out of nowhere at you. And it's really, really hard just to avoid, like, 1 heart of damage, no matter where you're going. That's a very good hook shot. Using the hook shot to gain invincibility frames right there.
Yeah, really heads up. Worked nicely. Humbugh on the other side is going to get this lava chest here. Usually not a big deal for Turtle Rock. You find enough keys easily, and it's nothing there. But he is going to head the rest of the way to Chomps, which is in logic. And here we go. The big moment for Magno. Can he get the spike chest?
And it's a hard piece, and then immediately dies. No, you have to die. You need to go to the well next. So the only thing in here of note was actually just a Hyrule Castle was a pot small key.
And then just some money over in Chomp Chest. So not a big benefit this early.
Yeah. To be honest, that's a really nice, like, early score of 6 items that you're not going to come back to unless you have the big key. So this bomb clip that Humbugh just did technically is not in logic, but the hookshot allows us to get over here anyway in logic. So this is a possible connector out. Oh,
and more connectors over to West Dark World. We did have that one up on top of Bumper Ledge, so
yeah, that one doesn't really logically offer us anything.
I mean, the longer this goes, the more I would start to worry, like, am I expected to bunny walk for boots?
I mean, we're down to 3 entrances before we have to bunny walk for boots, or we take the one connector we haven't seen. So that's a...
And I'll say I like Humbugh's play here of just saying, you know what, let me check the entrances. I can't get everything at Ice Rod Cave, but maybe I can get lucky and find something at one of those 2 entrances now.
Yeah, well, it looks like at least Magno may be onto the better route slightly, because we could probably have a connector up to the mountain. He's going to take that hookshot. He's going to go get himself.
He's going to find out how bad this seed is, and there you go. There's your thief drop down.
We have Vanilla Ganon, everybody.
Yeah, we have a GT required today.
All right, so tack on 4 extra small keys and a big key that are logically required.
Honestly, if you ask a lot of runners, they'll tell you I like Vanilla Ganon. Why? I know I have to do it.
Oh no. Okay, well that's scary.
Okay, do Aga Tower first, for sure, in this position. You know, get your 2 items.
You got a fire edge, you got a small key, you got 2 items. So, obviously here, Magno not having the hookshot the first time through is going to come back and check hookshot cave because this is the cluster of 4 items he knows about. He'll see that this is... I'm getting scared of Pod right now, because that's our 4th in logic small key. This portion up here isn't in logic because we need a lamp. We can't just use a fire rod. But
Humbug makes it look easy and gets blue mail for it.
just so it's a little harder to death warp.
Well, luckily blue guards, green guards, they're all half hearts of damage no matter what.
Yeah.
So it'll be worse for other stuff, but good there at least still.
Yeah. Yeah, Magno not gonna bunny walk. We do have a connector that takes us down to Bomb Shop as well. So this is like, we already have 3 Dark World connectors. So we're in prime position of where the frick is our hammer going to get to? Because it could be hiding in a lot of places now.
And there's red mail, so you feel good having 1, and then you get 2, and you're like, I don't need to be this safe. I really don't.
Yeah.
But does Paradox Cave give us anything? As that connector you mentioned, Fairy Ascension really not helping us today, only bringing us out to the desert area.
To be honest,
oh, there's the
our
boots.
Okay. It's actually this is actually not going to be too bad for. This won't be too bad for Magno though. It didn't do us anything. It was one of our bad connectors, but it is letting him kind of get himself. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So Humbug is going to book it over to Kakarika now to go get his Moon Pearl, so he can go to Dark World Exploration.
Yeah, and probably after that he'll do that connector for Fairy Ascension just to check it out.
Yeah, I kind of expect he'll immediately reverse and then go and start doing a Dark World sweep from Bumper Ledge. So you have a Fire Rod, you can go check the back of Skull Woods. You already have a small key. We're just gonna potentially leave the big chest behind if we have a good configuration.
I mean, you're asking a lot there with the idea of a good Skull Woods configuration. Who do you think you are?
Yeah. There's a Moon Pearl. But Magno isn't going to be hurting too much for this. He's got a bit of that Mire clear.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate Mire really didn't give anything.
Yeah, there is the... I mean, there is the... It's just a pod small, but it is a 4th pod small, which can be significant. It means it means... Oh no. Let's see how far he's going to take this.
Yeah, I feel like in Magno's spot here, he's like, I've had how many connectors to this area? The game is just saying, please, come here.
Yeah. Buying a potion. Not too bad. He's probably preparing for if in case we ever find Pod, we can do a potion camera on him. But at least from his perspective right now is like, his real bad orphan is kind of that one connector next to the purple chest turn-in, which I think it looks like he's going to go do it now. Then he's just going to, or he's just going to go do DM all the way out to Ice Heart Cave area, because these are his last Light World entrances. Like, at least getting himself over to Desert means that he doesn't have to walk out to he didn't have to go walk out to Agina's Cave. So he'll be on his Moon Pearl very quickly.
Yeah, there's not many ways you miss this Pearl or these boots.
Yeah.
And I will say, I like the fact that Humbug's kind of like, let me at least knock out these last couple. Let me find out what the situation here is on these.
Yeah. Get some of these boots checks done. Having some real bad luck with those green guards. We do have a bottle. We do have sick kid. Drink. You know, sometimes I wonder if that kid's sick or if he's just lazy.
I have heard.
He's got a bottle of medicine. You'd think he'd be able to drink it. But no, he's just that lazy, I guess.
And here we go. We are going to take that hookshot cave connector back into Dark World.
Yep. Fortunately, the seed did not want to give us a glove, so we're going to be kind of hard orphaning our glove locations for the time being, but we'll get around to it. Honestly, 27 minutes. We've already done the light world. Bottom of Spectacle Rock Cave out there.
Nice knowing we don't need that.
The glove? I would love to see that. I've never quite had a gloveless seed in Crosskeys. I've had a seed where the only logical thing I've had to do with the glove was lift the rock to go fight Cannon. But I've never quite had that full gloveless seed.
Yeah, you're asking kind of a lot that Ice Palace is not a crystal.
Yeah. Now Magno gonna get his make it hard to death warp in some later dungeons. Now, we saw one of these entrances was Myers Shed. I don't think we saw the other one. Oh boy.
Yeah, interesting to find our desert entrance here. With the boots, I understand why Humbugg's like, I gotta check it.
Oh, it's not even boots. We have Desert Palace Big Key. This is 4 items.
That's the thing. I think if I have no boots and no big key, I'm probably like, nope, I'm not checking this chest. But with those two, for the 3 checks inside, I feel like you have to do it.
Oh yeah, no, this is a nice clip.
Hey, footwear. Footwear locks footwear. I love it.
Yeah. And our wire medallion today is vanilla. Humbugh did not check it. He kind of just walked out and immediately walked back away. I can kind of... This is one of those calls, like, what Magno's doing is like, you know where your moon pearl is, so if this is anything, you're going to feel bad. On the other hand, this is such a pain in the ass to get to.
Did that desert exit lead into VOO?
I'm not sure. I went to go look at the minor medallion. Okay, so we had... So, 2 of our desert entrances are sitting over there.
Not a bad place for them.
No. Yeah, and knowing that you've got a... Here we go. Moment of truth for Skullwoods. Ooh. That's really nice for Magno. That's really nice. Ooh. That's frustrating for Magno. Skullwood's back, but no sword.
Sword incoming under the bridge?
And...
That's a flute for Humbugh.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad, because the other end of Paradox Cave was the Old Man Save and Quit. So, I mean... But actually, that's the... So this will be interesting, because our Mire entrance is Paradox Top, which means we can't actually use the Paradox Bottom entrance until we get them here. That's kind of frustrating.
I will say the fact that Humbug got that flute means the advantage Magno gains here
Is
is completely reduced. Like there's almost no advantage to having found this early.
Well, at the very least, we know Desert Palace is a crystal, and we can beat Desert Palace.
And
Possibly.
Magno?
Okay, possibly. If he gets lucky with a magic drop.
Unfortunately, the Popos are all bombs.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to burn 2 Fire Rod shots just to open up Landmo.
Yeah, this... He has a red potion. How many Fire Rod shots does he have is the question.
He might have 6 in there right now if he's careful. That's looking really close to a 6 shot.
That's 5 or 6, yeah. Okay, it looks like it was 6. Yep, good. Good on him. And we get a small key too.
Oh, gross.
So we're a lamp away from East Dark World being in logic.
And a sword.
And a sword. No, it's, I guess technically it's Desert Palace small key. Okay, so we're like two things away. But it's nice, however, to get Desert Palace knocked off to get your first crystal off the board. This looks like it's the old man save and quit, and the one entrance that Magno did not check on Death Mountain, of course, is Ganon's Tower. If there's anything on the torch, this won't be too bad for me. This is just a quick loot to 1 back. Welcome, iterators from Kermit. Just an arrows. Dice. And it looks like Skullwoods is also a crystal, so... Now, this is interesting for Magno. I don't know if he got away from himself or not, because... or if this is just he wanted to go... not extend himself out too much without the Moon Pearl that he knows where it is. Because he saved and quit out of GT. But he also left like 5 entrances up on the mountain.
Oh, you're talking East Death Mountain. Interesting.
Well, I don't think he checked the other side of Spectacle Rock. He checked 2 of the Spectacle Rock entrances. He didn't check the 3rd. And he didn't check the East Death Mountain either with the...
Yeah, the hard part is like East Death Mountain, the West DDM checks. Like, there were options, and he decided to just kind of pass up all of them.
Yeah, I don't think... I'm sure Humbug is probably going to go check them.
Or at least some subset of them.
Yeah. But I think we're going to kind of see a repeat. Magno will go set up, probably find this flute in here. I mean, in Crosskeys, it can be kind of a pain to, like, efficiently route everything. with the mountain like an inverted, because you're just kind of going to have to do a bunch of trips up and down. But on the other hand, like, you kind of want to get the mountain done. Especially considering that we're still missing 5 dungeons. So this is the old man save and quit. The old man rescue. Yeah. Now humbugh still has humbugh also has the other checks on Dark Death Mountain as well. I don't know which you're going to want to choose. I mean, I guess you can do either one of them. It's not too bad to get. You probably do Dark Death Mountain now, and then maybe you come back and do East Death Mountain after a second because you have the flute and the hookshot, and you just want to like skip having to do the rock section one more time.
Yeah, I think I'd be in the same thought.
Ah, a little slash shoulder.
And green pendant turtle rock today.
Yeah, neither runner. I mean, I suppose we probably want to check the humbugh should check the old man save and quit here. I'm not surprised that Magno hasn't. But that's a
Terrible mountain start. Can the back be a little better?
The back's going to be floating island.
I mean, that would be better.
Barely. Magno 2 for 2. Oh, okay, well.
That's slightly better.
Not really. You'd say this is slightly better if we didn't have a bomb shot connector. Well, we have a bomb shot connector in Kakariko, so we can actually get to the part. We don't have to like run past the grove a bunch of times.
Well, I mean, at this moment in time, it's perfect because you start where you wanted to continue up your check.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the bright side here.
Yeah, no.
Really, great side of life here.
Yeah, well, you get your 2 item checks here. You get to go do Swamp Palace, you get to go do Hype Cave and the Lake Shop. This isn't bad for the route. So interestingly, we're starting to actually run low on checks again. Oh yeah, I forgot we had boots, so we also have this entrance as well.
One of what feels like the hundreds of fairy caves.
Yeah. Oh wait, no.
No, this is the Survivors of Hyrule tournament. This is a team event. Each team has a 4-runner group, and then it's a survivor best of 7. If you lose, you're out for the round. First team to get eliminated is out.
Actually, I'm in my head. I was like, wait, we don't have a lot left, and I remember. Wait, no, we have flippers. We have access to use Starport. So we're slowly starting to wear ourselves down on checks, but we're not quite there yet.
Like this series, I think this is the second game being played in it.
Correct. This is game 2. Humbugh is team captain. His teammate was Arior, and Arior would be 2C.
Yeah, in probably one of the fastest matches of this whole tournament, or what will be the fastest match in this whole tournament. If you missed that race, do watch it. That was quite a spectacle of a casual boots race.
Okay, so Thesan entrance was the main entrance to Charter Rock, so we're still only missing Laser Bridge.
We're skipping Dark Shopping Mall, though, on Humbugh's side for now.
That's interesting.
I mean, I get wanting to have a glove, but I feel like you can't be picky here.
So really, there's going to be no real logical reason to do Ag unless somehow our hammer ends up behind Pyramid Fairy. Which, considering we haven't seen the bomb shot yet, is going to be a thing.
Yeah, this is a play, and I don't hate it. I wish I had Samaria here making this kind of play, but I get why you might want to check it. Crosskeys versus Key Sanity. Not a huge difference. It's just the fact that Crosskeys is a cross-world entrance shuffle, which means that all the entrances are shuffled, and if you enter a connector in Light World, the other side could be in Dark World.
At least Pangators are in the, it looks like they're in the big prize pool today. But it's always nice. Just being able to just, like, kill the room, like that's one of these rooms, and just get a full refill on everything.
But yeah, as you were saying, with this being the second game for this series, like, this is pretty massive right now for Team Ravis. You know, it looks like Magno's a little bit trailing in terms of just how far gotten, but still early to say.
I mean, really, right now, what it's kind of come down to is, like, Magno is a little bit probably behind on the overworld routing, but he's also dug Misery Mire. Now, did Misery Mire get him a lot? No, but it did get him a pot small key, and that can actually be kind of because
yeah,
right
that
now
fourth key does give some options.
Because when you get the pod, you really only need 2 keys to get like 13 of the checks in the dungeon. Every key after that's just like 1 extra item or something like that, and so he can get everything but like 1 item in pottery. And Magno and Humbugh is going to potentially have to like make a choice between Big Key Chest and Harmless Hellway. And I've seen matches where that's been the race decider. Especially if somehow 2 important things end up in there, in each one of those. So. But yeah, but at this point, like, Magno hasn't done Dark West Death Mountain, so he doesn't know Sahala, the Sahashala stuff. He has to activate a flute, but that's not too bad. Looks like he's probably...
Oh, wow.
What was that?
Ice Rod.
I don't know how to feel about that. That's a green pendant that's required for 2 items and the pedestal. That is an iced tea. I think Ice Palace is in a location of where you're probably just going to dip it anyway. Let's see if Magno does, or if he just runs away. The Indecision decides to run away.
It's hard because Crosskeys is almost infamous for Ice Palace having something.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite Crosskeys that I ever had was Ice Palace was at Arrow game, and I didn't really want to dip it because all I had was a hammer and I didn't have a glove. But it being an Arrow game, and it was just like I have to dip it because I can get the other 4 items. And so I icebreaker and I get a glove.
Lovely.
And I'm like, I shouldn't have been rewarded for this. And yet I was.
House of Darkness giving us the Mimic Cave.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're going to see that East Death Mountain Jack that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Well, kind of how with, I think I don't blame either runner for kind of like skipping it the first time around. Magno, it was a little more surprising because he kind of ran all the way down the map. A humbug kind of made sense because of how he did how he sequenced his save quits. But there's still 4 entrances over here. We're still missing several connectors.
The question in chat about the boots, they were at Paradox Cave 5 inside of Ice Rock Cave area.
That's the dam. Speaking of the devil, you've got a flute. You know what your next check should be after you check the last entrance of Paradox Cave. Bug raid. Don't do the Crosskeys thing of I'll just flute to 7 whenever. Okay, good. He didn't do the Crosskey thing for getting the flute to 7 immediately. It's really easy not to remember to do this. There's so much more to check. We haven't seen Swamp Palace yet. We do have the Swamp Palace Small Key and the Hookshot and the dam and the flippers. So really, we're just hammered from being able to clear it. That's a Dark Cave of Unknown Repute. I'm surprised he's not checking Hobo.
Hobo's pretty easy to kind of route in later as like a flute to it. I like the fact that they're both kind of like, I've got all this money, I've got guaranteed 2 items up at Zora.
Yeah, well, I'm more surprised because speak it into existence. There's our hammer. Okay. So that's a big key for us over in CAG.
And that's a ton of GT.
Yeah. I'm just more surprised that he didn't check it because he checked Lake Island. And I feel like a good play in this situation is just to check Lake Island, go to Hobo with the flute, and then immediately get off the screen and flute back down to 8. And then kind of reset your position. Because I think you've wasted like half of the lake, half a lake transition doing that. But oh boy, it's a sword. I know what everybody's going to be doing now.
I'm going right back up the mountain. I'm killing Moth and I'm doing GT.
Exactly.
No question. That's where we're going.
Look, we got red mail.
Well, technically, Moth's in Logic. We skipped the vanilla key and pinball room.
Yeah.
So we have the keys.
Humbugh, cast Quake. Looks like, actually, you know what? This is a good play for, this is a heads up from.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot, this is also here. I don't hate either of these plays.
No.
In fact, I actually like Magno slightly better because there's a small key sitting on the Smith drop down. So you can get a key out of this as well, and maybe, you know, I also like Magno slightly better because while this isn't a crystal, this probably is a crystal, and you can get something in here to help your Mothula fight. You're not going to get something off of Mothula to help your blind fight, if that makes sense. So
What do you mean? A cape, a Burna, blind script is hard.
I mean, look, it's red mail. I guess we're doing red mail here. Moth. It isn't the worst thing in the world, but
No, not at all.
But like, maybe there's 2 swords back here. Maybe there's a book.
Maybe there's a bow and a big key to GT or a Samaria. But there is another crystal for Humbug.
2-2. Sorry, 2-1 right now. This, however, also means that Aga is now completely and utterly dead. So we only have 2 GT keys in Logic, I think, right now. How many GT keys do we have? 2. So realistically, a lot of this place actually isn't in Logic, but it could be.
2 keys, and there's another sword. 2 keys really is enough to do all of GT if you're smart.
Yeah, especially if you're doing left side first.
Yep.
And there's a third. We haven't really sequence broken Logic too badly so far this seed. Other than
no, the keys have been pretty generous.
So that's Ether. That's nice. We're 1 more from that being in Logic because that's a 4-key luck chest. But that is the Misery Mire entrance available to us. I don't know. Humbug never actually looked at the Mire Medallion, so I don't know if he is going to think about scouting that until he maybe has a mirror, because otherwise there's no real good reason to go back to Mire. But he does have a flute, so he can kind of run his way back over to...
Okay, I know I said blind is hard, but Magno, please... please have health.
Look, he did such a great job avoiding taking damage in Mire. Now that he's red mail, he can just face tank everything. Ice Small. The Fillet. Okay. So far, GT's really only gotten us a sword in the first 10 or so checks.
The Ice Small key's not terrible, but yeah, not a whole lot.
Yeah. Thieves is a crystal, so we are tied 2-2. Let's hope that Magno remembers to go hammer the stake right next to you when you walk out. There we go. Let's see what the small key is. This probably won't be anything that is actually useful. Like right now, the only thing that really would be nice is 1 more pod small. But that's really like a tall ask, and it's a Smire small.
And seeing Magno on his cam going, yeah, no, not happy.
And there's a small key we don't ever want to see.
Humbug going to use as much fire as possible. Does do a great job of taking down 3 of the Armos.
Yeah. You know, this will be interesting to see exactly how far... this is going to be one of those unfortunate things for Magno, because he's going to want to have magic for one. But Fire Rod's also going to be your best bet for like kind of getting the Armos Knights down on this level of equipment, because we don't have Burna, we don't have a bow. So we don't really have a lot other than the Fire Rod to kind of like burn them down.
And Ice Armos gives us the mirror. Oh wow, that's a great find.
That's really
perfect
nice.
Timing for it too.
Yeah. There was a small key up on Spectacle Rock, so that'll be interesting to see what that is.
And we have access to that big key on the Hylia Island now as well.
Yeah, no, we have access to 2 more big keys. If either of the Magno, oh no, I think this is just one of those things of like I don't want to do Ice Armless without a bow or Burno.
I mean, even if like having sword beams would have been pretty good too.
Yeah, I think maybe he wants to kill Mothula first just so he can preserve the health restore. It looked like Eastern was a crystal. I don't think we had anything else. And there we go.
Pod.
There we go. And of course, it's Pendant Pod.
Pendant Pod's an evil dungeon. I don't care what anybody says. Terrible dungeon.
Yeah. I think your opponent's captain from the last round might agree with you. I think your league teammate may also have words for you later.
She knows how I feel.
I understand how you feel too, don't worry. Okay, so there's our Desert Small. So that means... It doesn't matter. Nothing logically is important behind Aggro 1 today. Other than, I guess Magic Fuck.
Oh, good call from Schultzer there, mentioning that Magno was out of bombs.
Oh, he was out of bombs. Okay, yeah.
That explains why we bailed. Okay.
Yeah, he couldn't blow open the hole. There is one bomb in there room, but yeah.
He was also out for doing other checks.
Yeah. So nice camera unlock by Humbug. Okay, there was a bomb shop here too. That's it. Okay, that's fine. That's a little unfortunate for Magno, but that's understandable. I think he has to go back into GT right after this, though. Once he checks the entrances that he kind of left orphaned earlier. Because that mirror is probably going to be our next set of progressions. That's 5 or 6 entrances and 2 big keys.
And unfortunately for Magno at this point, the fact that, left GT there, what sends you back?
That's gonna, yeah, that is going to send him back a little because he's gonna have to.
And realistically, it's looking like that third GT small we got on Magno's side out of Thieves Town was logic to get the mirror, and mirror looks like the next piece. And there's a pod small and pod.
Wow, what a great dungeon! So that is nice for Humbug. It does mean he's going to be orphaning the big key chest though for a while. No, game. This cannot.
2 pod smalls and pod.
Okay, this is great for Humbug. He gets the full clear except for the big key chest.
Watch the big key be right here. I didn't mean it. Oh, good. I got really scared.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be right.
Don't pod. Don't taunt, especially don't taunt Pendant Pod. Oh yeah, no bombs, no boomerang, just at the crystal. Yeah, you almost forget that about the crystal switches sometimes because muscle memory is just boomerang or Samario. Then there are the cases where you don't have either of them. I think the boomerang was in here, which is going to be the insulting part. right.
I will say that. Oh, there's some Mario on Floating Island.
Okay, yeah, you want to check... You don't want to check the entrance here, because the entrance here is probably not going to be good.
Well, and we know that the drop down is nothing.
Yeah.
Although, I'm surprised Humbugg's going for this. Can this really help?
I guess he has the hug shot, so he can reverse this.
Yeah. Or get stuck.
No. Well, actually, this is serendipitous for him, sadly. Because he can check these entrances, which he knows are in logic.
Well, and then he can route in the big key on the island. Oh, and there's Eastern.
Here we go. Not just the big key on the island. I actually don't think he'll check the big key on the island. Paradox Cave is over here, into the Mire area.
True that. We got a lot of options here.
Yeah. That's a lamp location. I mean, it's not that far into logic. All you had to really do was just get your boots and your flippers. But, yeah, unfortunately, Magno is trying to do... Armos Knights is weird because I don't know why they put it in the original game that Tier 2 sword damage is worse than Tier 1 sword damage for Armos Knights. So you either want to be doing spins or pokes. It's a weird decision, and it really would only come up in GT in the vanilla game, so I don't know why they did that. At least Magno's getting his move.
And saving and quitting, surprisingly.
I mean... That's one of those things, like, I don't think... You know where two big keys are, and you know how to get into Mire. You might want to prioritize getting the big keys just so you can get your checks out. You can get those checks done immediately. This is going to be the big key on the island.
I don't know. I feel like you hit race game first here, and then go for the island.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because like running back for race game here is really not going to be easy, and that's why I'm not surprised we're seeing a flute away.
Yeah.
And there's a glove on the ledge.
Yeah, Crosskeys, I love you. Actually, you know, the old man Sam Quit's actually kind of interesting now, because that is one more entrance. Two more entrances we get out of that, with that mirror.
Yeah.
And there's the back of Turtle Rock. So realistically, we only really needed one small key in the seed.
Yeah, I think we've seen all the TR entrances now as well.
Actually, that was a kind of like a heads up play by Magno there. Remembering that the Dark World, the Arrow game, was a connector to the back of Old Man, so that he went and grabbed that instead.
I will also point out, Humbug seeing that Ether is Mire entrance, and I think there was some frustration there in that moment of like, I don't have magic. Luckily, he finds Hera, going to be able to get that Moldorm kill to get the full magic refill.
Yeah. And a cape. Meanwhile, the other side of Race Game was a Hyrule Castle connector. This is actually going to be really nice for Magno because right now we're kind of running really low on connectors. I don't think we've seen the old lady connector, and we're still missing the two entrances, other entrances off of Hyrule Castle plus Bumper Cave. So like we're down to like 4 entrances that are going to lead us to. So this is actually like a 50-50 for Magno for getting Samaria right now. He probably doesn't realize that though.
Yeah, you might be right, Ari. I wasn't sure how much he was putting the extra time into aligning himself there. I could see both since he hadn't scouted the medallion earlier.
So Zizix, about the bow on the second armor sight. It's not using bow on second armor sights. This is it's actually a thing across the board for all the late world bosses, where tier 2 sword damage deals less damage than tier 1 sword damage. For any and these only really happen in the repeat fights in Ganon's Tower. It happens with Lambda, it happens with Moldorm 2 as well.
Well, it's not so much less. Master Sword is equivalent for Moldorm and Lambda.
But it's...
But Master Sword is markedly worse against Armos.
Yeah. It's also interesting because like there's no guarantee that you're actually going to find a sword upgrade before getting into Ganon's Tower. It's hard not to, but it is very possible. You have to remember that in vanilla, the 2 sword upgrades that you can get post Master Sword are turning into Smiths and doing Pyramid Fairy. Neither of which is the most hinted at thing in the game. The least hinted at thing in the game is probably actually finding the flute. Okay, that's Mammoth Cave. Map for Green Pin and Turtle Rock that we already knew about. So interestingly, that means our this will work out slightly. Will end up working out nicely for Humbugh. I don't know if you saw that, but Checkerboard Cave is actually with our last Hyrule Castle entrance. So
nice.
He'll be able to actually get over to Race Game and grab the big key. Unfortunately, it's just for Swamp Palace, but it is. You know, you kind of get your ability. You kind of learn. Where are you going? Where are you going? You're taking Turtle Rock. I'm trying to figure out what Magno wants to do here.
This was in the Dark World.
Yeah, no, this is Vo. So this is going to be him checking Hammerpeg's house, I think. And maybe then yeah. Yeah, and then he'll probably end up dashing south or something and checking...
I was going to say probably north for Graveyard King.
North for Graveyard King. He didn't check K45 because he kind of found Hyrule Castle and then got locked out. So I could go either way.
Or, you know what? I'd say actually wait for Graveyard and King until you do Bumper Ledge. We have the Bumper Ledge connector.
He's checking Pyramid.
Not a bad play either.
Yeah, this will take. This is the pod fairy.
And this is kind of why it's nice to sometimes do the scout. You know, the lack of scouting.
Vanilla, Red, Crystal, Ice Palace, number 5 even.
Yeah. By not having scouted that desert ledge, both of our runners, you know, not knowing about that glove, Humbug kind of lucked out that he hadn't checked the connector to from Paradox into the Mire area.
Yeah, it's been slightly more frustrating that Magno has fluted to 6 now like 3 times and hasn't at least dropped off the ledge to check it. But this is good. This is more entrances. You know what? Temperate Sword.
Temperate Sword is good.
Humbug still hasn't actually done Thieves Town. Oh, good. Wow. Nice to find that entrance with the boots, and also nice to find that entrance and not have to worry about getting spat out of it.
You know, on the plus side for that swamp is big. It just means when we do actually find swamp, we can full clear it.
Yeah, we're running out of entrances, surprisingly. Really, the only thing that we don't really have available to us is Ice Palace and Turtle Rock. And technically Ganon's Tower, but we're not going to go into Ganon's Tower today. Unless somehow, some way, the Ganon's Tower Big Key is sitting in the Ganon's Tower entrance.
Ooh. Evil.
I had a seed one time where Agate Tower was in there at the Ganon's Tower Big Key.
I had a seed with Ice Palace there, and I think we had like 2 swords locked there and silvers. It was a joy.
Magno, going back over here.
This could be a... Oh, okay, so this is going to be Hylia Island. Maybe route that up for Pyramid?
We hit Hylia Island.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at Humbug.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. So I guess this is him going to go try to get over... So this is this makes sense for Magno, because this is his way to get back over into the Mire area. Efficiently with other checks. So I'll check the other 2 entrances. He's not going to find out that the rock is Spectacle Rock. Which is probably for the best. You don't ever want to follow that.
Oh, we're going to get the bumper ledge connector, or the bumper connector.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you know Samaria is up there, you really do want to find that. Ooh, that's not a bad connector, actually.
No. Wow, so technically Humbug, Magno very quickly could actually do Pyramid Fairy. If he gets that glove. He would have the full ability to get Pyramid Fairy done. Humbug, I think, is just going to go do Thieves Town right now. No, he's not going to. He's going to go check the glove entrance and do Thieves Town, I guess. You're still missing Swamp Palace entrance, so this makes sense. Though we're actually starting to run out. If we even care about Swamp Palace.
I mean, we've got quite a bit in North Light Dark World because of glove and mirror locks.
Yeah. But this will be a glove for Magno, which he's going to hate himself because he's going to know he could have. When he gets down to the Eastern, he's going to go through Paradox Cave, go into my area, mirror to go get the item, see it's a glove, and hate himself because he could have really. He's going to be like, I could have had this 10 minutes ago, and I could have done this all 10 minutes ago. There is a very good chance that we don't need Samaria this year. That is true. We're still missing quite a bit, though, so hard to say. But that does leave the opportunity for the old... I think at this point it has to be the old lady. Save and quit. That has the old lady house. That has to be our connector up to the mire, to the floating island.
Yeah, we're definitely running low on those connectors, and I'm not sure we have much left.
Oh, Magno. Opting not to check the mire area again. Gonna go opt to check Dark Potion Shop, go up to Catfish, probably do Sword area.
Can't do Catfish without a glove.
Ooh.
Yeah, that lack of a glove is really starting to bite Magno more and more.
Yeah. Okay, so Catfish is dead forever. You can mirror yourself back. I don't know. Okay, North Dark World checks then. Fine.
Yeah.
I don't think he did Bonk Rocks. So this is 3 entrances for him. Oh, I guess there is that one dark connector we haven't seen the other entrance to as well. So there's 2 potential ways up to the mountain right now, up to the floating island. Wrong cane, but nice. Actually, kind of funny that's in the King's Tomb entrance.
Oh, hey, Swamp Palace.
How you doing, buddy? You're getting done. So realistically, from go mode, we are finding Eastern Palace Big Key, potentially finding a way up into the mire to the floating island connector, and finding the Ganon's Tower Big Key. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I don't think there's a way around full clearing swamp in this seed right now, if you're Magno. Like, I don't think there's a way to skip checks in this one.
So you're saying there's a chance? No, I completely agree. I actually do completely agree. I think where it is with what you have left, you kind of have to commit to this. And yeah, he's pretty much he's immediately going to do left side. Flooding the key. Mr. Nerdador, I don't think Magno is going to Ice Palace knowing that it's a crystal until he finds a glove. You want a glove, you would love to have Samarium, but without either, you're not really wanting to touch Ice Palace. There's our other end to Super Monkey Cave.
Yeah, and I like this set of checks from Humbug, just saying, you know what, I can pair all these different entrances here, and there's our butter sword over on Magno's side.
You know, I think I've heard us saying about this. And, well...
Always a sword in swamp. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Hey,
so,
Blind Hut!
Nice. And, by the way, Swamp Palace map on left side swamp. It's a crystal. So our last pendant is Mire.
we could live without Samaria.
We can live without Samaria, which is nice.
Pending, of course, location of the GT Big Key and some other stuff.
Yeah.
But that is valuable information if you're, and there's a glove! Magno getting bailed by the glove!
Yeah, so that's really big for Magno. Humbugh's gonna have mitts. Humbugh is avoiding going over to check Desert Lead, the two entrances up there, which is actually surprising. I feel like if you're doing this, you're going to go down to K45.
No, I think this was just for this check. I gotta feel like, yep, back to North Dark World. He's gonna find Swamp.
Ooh. It always feels bad to kind of like run yourself down to the bow and then back up to Graveyard Ledge. He's going back. Oh no, he's going to go beat Ice Palace.
No, I think this is just right side desert and then continue on his path.
True.
I really think this is entrance checking for him. This is what the Crosskeys player in me says, but I could be wrong as well. Like,
yeah, no, I understand.
It is very hard to gauge what other people do in this mode.
Yeah.
Like, you watch and you're like, this is how I would do it, but you're always like, I don't know, somebody's going to have a difference of opinion.
I personally would have kind of just gone North Dark World down into CAC, because I don't think either of them would check K45, so... Like, I think this is just the way that Orphan's K45 forever, considering where... I mean, you have a saving...
Old man's right there.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Old man's right there. You always put it off to the back of the list.
And this is 2 entrances.
Yeah, but you also ran right by it before.
And for Humbugh, like, this leads him to Catfish and Dark Witch. Or Pyramid Ledge.
This is exactly what happens. We start figuring out ways not to go to K4.
I'm just saying, like, I look at Humbugh's side and I go, this is density.
I know.
And I feel like, you know, that's the name of the game in Crosskeys, is where can I get my most checks? And it does look like Magno might be heading for ice.
Yeah, he's got a glove. He can full clear ice.
Except for Ice Big.
Yeah, that's true. Ice Big was wet in pod. So that's going to be a thing of concern for me. If anything's in there, that's going to be a problem. Now, the Ice Palace Big Key's in pod, which is in Hera entrance. Humbugh has checked it, Magno has not. The mirror was in behind Ice Armos. So Magno opted to kind of save and quit and kind of start doing mirror checks on Lower Dark World. Humbugh, on the other hand, went up the top of Death Mountain and found pod and did a couple other things up there.
And Humbugh is going to get that sword out of Swamp here.
Yeah, this is nice.
No skipping it.
The sword on Pyramid is kind of iffy for him right now. I think he'll get it, but there's a good chance he doesn't.
Yeah, if he does what I think he's doing with the entrance density here, I feel like he'll get it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's getting Tempered Sword kind of just makes everything okay anyway. Nice Ice Palace palm jump from Magno.
In terms of pedestal, like, we didn't really have anything that was... Well, I guess the Ice Palace Big Key was 6 key lock. I'm just trying to think of, like... we had 4 pod keys, and then there were 2 more in pod. So, like, is there anything that was like really significant that the randomizer had to make sure that we had all 6 keys for? I think the only thing I can think of is the Ice Palace big key, which is required, but
Depending, of course. Oh, there's our GT big key.
I guess he didn't have a small key and he didn't want to do the.
We didn't have a glove and hammer our first trip.
Oh yeah,
on
no,
that
that's
side.
right. Yeah, that's right. So realistically, Magno doesn't know it, but he's just basically like Eastern Palace big key for Gummo.
And bow.
And bow. Okay, the bow. The bow is.
I mean, who needs a bow, right?
Armel Shake storage exists, right? That's how this works.
I was gonna make a joke about Igor clipping. If only.
Yeah.
Get on that, glitch finders. Find ways for us to get to Armos without a bow.
Yeah.
That's legal.
Legal. Best men, put our best men on it. Top men.
Top men. If I'm not mistaken, Humbug has beaten Moldorm as well.
Yeah, he has.
So I think this is crystal number 5 for Humbug.
Yeah, this is crystal 5 for Humbug. This will be crystal 5 for Magno in a completely different way. And realistically, all Magno has to do is kind of get himself over to the ice, right to the Mire area. He'll find Hera. And then he's kind of going to just be sitting Eastern Palace McKee and bow from Gummo. I wonder if Humbug's going to dip into Mire now. Does he know it's? He knows. He realizes it's a pain. And
He's got all map info now. So I think. I feel like Mire just doesn't appeal the same way as, like, let me go beat Ice.
Yeah, but it's also 6 items. Compared to Ice's, what, 2 or 3 that he can pick up 3 or 4, I guess.
I think it's 4 for him now.
Yeah.
And honestly, at this point, like, I feel like there's got to be some push to say, rush the crystals, and after I beat Ice, like, that'll send me to GT climb.
Yeah, I think this right here for Magno should be GT climb. He's not doing GT climb. What is he doing? He's splitting to 4, to 3. Which entrances are you going to go check?
Is this Bumper Ledge?
This is Bumper Ledge.
Both of our runners dipped Eastern Palace. No Eastern skippers today.
Yeah, Eastern was in such a bad location that you kind of had to dip it, regardless. That's where our lamp was. It was over in Dark Shopping Mall. So this is I think Magno probably realizes that he knows he's still 1 or 2 items away, but he's really, really hurting for entrances right now. Yeah. Blindside. We may actually, looking at what we have left, we may actually have a mids locked West Death Mountain, East Death Mountain. Normally we only say that mids only locks Total Walker Ice spells in this build, and maybe Pyramid Fear and Hammer Pegs, but we don't really have a lot of entrances left to get to Dark West Death Mountain right now, Dark East Death Mountain right now. So we may actually have to use the Turtle Rock portal to get there, or the other portal. Actually, the fact that
I gotta say to Leo's question, like, I don't know if you can skip it there.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Magno feels behind or if he forgot it was there.
Like, you're just running out of opportunities to ever get to that location.
Yeah.
And like, pod entrance is probably my least favorite in entrance rando. Like, it is just absolutely terrible to get to.
And the fact of the matter is you have to pay 110 rupees to get there.
Yeah, you already invested in it.
Okay, so moment of truth. Will Magno get bit by no. Okay. Will Magno get bit by there being anything in the Ice Palace Big Chest? There is something, it's just a Turtle Rock small key. We don't care about those anymore.
But that is such an important key, don't you know? That is like huge.
Look, look, I don't want to say it's huge, but realistically, we're just some Mario from Pedestal being in Logic.
You know, if I could try to be like super serious, like, you know, realistically, if we didn't have all the TR entrances, yeah, you could lose a race that way, but we just do. We've seen every TR entrance.
Magno hasn't, but yeah, that the point holds. Once ever lost, goddamn. Well, Aaron, in this case, it won't matter because we know where we know where Laser Bridge is, and we can get the Laser Bridge without having to spend all of our keys.
And here we go, Mimic Cave. Yeah, we had 2 vanilla keys in pod today.
Yes. Pod was extremely stupid. In fact, you might not even have to hammer jump the seat. He probably will, but it'd be funny if he does Harmless Hellway first and then realizes that he could just walk there. Humbugh doing kind of more of a... This is actually... this is interesting. Humbugh is going to Mimic.
Yeah, I mean, if you get the other bow up here, it's pretty good. It also leads you into the top of Hyrule Castle checks.
Yeah, he hasn't done those, so that's actually a really good point for him.
And yes, so, Smirk, Ganon is at the pyramid. Vanilla Ganon today.
Okay. Magno shook his head at the. We actually do have a face cam for Magno on the tracker and commentary page. He shook his head and he just waved when he saw the that 5th pod small key. Well, let's go see what happens when he sees the 6th.
There was the oh. I'm kind of surprised he's still going for. Is he going to hammer jump here? Like, I feel like you. Why hammer jump if you might get the pod big key here in Dark Maze?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to have to route back on.
This might just be a comfort. This might just be a, I've already had this
memory. Yeah,
muscle memory, and I haven't fully processed what the hell just happened. Because quite frankly.
Meanwhile, humbugh going with these mimic clips has almost all of them. There we go, and we're good.
They're going away to their home planet. And now he just sees Dice Pal speaking, and he's like, that's dead, to be fair. Alright. Not opting to go check the north side of West Death Mountain. Doing these caves that he put off forever ago. Those TRs now a pendant. It's his last TRs, his last GT small, and one of his last TR smalls. So I don't know how Magno is on mimic clipping. I know I expected of humbugh.
Leo, what I'll say for that Hollow Knight MSU, by the way, Overworld is mostly chill. The dungeons is where it really picks up, and yes, GT is just all in.
All right.
Unfortunately, no Samaria for this these Wizrobe rooms. You kind of forget, oh yeah, it's not always super convenient to do this. And Magno getting the information that, yeah, there's your Samaria.
Gonna skip this. He knows where this end goes. He probably knows that the other end probably is not a place he's going to even care to check right now. Because he knows he can get into Mire right now. Going to go check here, which I believe this might be the bottom shop.
Yes.
Okay,
no, the dark side was the bomb shop.
Yeah.
Oh no, the powder. On the plus side, we know a bow can't be, or like our logical bow can't be on powder.
Yeah.
So I don't think we go clear Aga Tower.
Yeah. Somebody finally remembers that hobo exists. You know, the thing that they slam halfway to like 3 or 4 times already.
Man, you love these orphan checks right now. You really want to yell at them and be like, do your orphan checks!
Well,
the big key too?
Eastern Palace, okay. Okay, so Pedestal's dead.
Shovel on the hobo.
That is a bow locked Eastern Palace big key. This is good. That's good for Magno. But right now, what he really needs to do is remember that he can get into the Mire area. Okay, good. He's going to sequence break himself into it. So realistically, all you kind of need right now is just to kind of get your hands on a bow. Ped's dead. We may not need Samaria. And so I think if you're humbug right now, you're just going to start pushing everything you have left in density. And now Magno just looks at the glove that he could have had 30 minutes ago.
There's that look of, it's a look of disgust at that. You're just like, really, game? Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, GT Big Chest is bad for both runners. I don't think there's a runner in this position who's like, I love GT Big Chest.
Now, the only thing that you hope for GT Big Chest is that GT Big Chest is that maybe you have Samaria.
Yeah, if I get
a
Samaria,
reason to do the other 5 checks to get yourself there.
If I get Samaria, I will probably hit right side and Big Chest, but there's just not a reason to go.
Yeah, see, and the worst part is like he fluted to 6 accidentally like 3 or 4 times, and he just never hopped off the ledge to check the item. Yeah, we could have first logical bones, haha. I don't think we're gonna ever find a second bow unless it's on Armos Knights. Magno will be happy to find that this is Hero. I don't think you do Hero basement. I think with that mids location, you're probably just like, I'm not doing Hero basement. Because realistically, you know that right now you're only like 4 items from Goma. You're realistically just 2 items from Goma.
And here we go. We are going to see Meyer again. So this is kind of that time makeup for from Magno.
Yeah.
Or for Magno. But Humbug here with the big key to Meyer could get a bow out of that Meyer big chest.
Yep. This is just kind of one of the, if it does, it's going to be unfortunate sequencing. Humbug not really having a way to kill Wizrobes the first time he came by Meyer. Could get in there. Could get through the front gap, but could not kill the Wizrobes. Could light these torches.
I mean, he could have killed them. Bomb Wizrobe kills are just super difficult. Like, to get the timing down, it's one of those really, really ugly things to have to attempt. But I don't blame anybody for saying, I thought they did.
It's never in logic.
I thought you could, and it was just really hard to get the timing right.
No, it's not. They are immune to bombs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a good hero pot for Magno, and they spin speed setup. Did hero basement, so he will full clear this. Actually, neither runner found the hero big key. That's interesting. Okay, so that is actually something that's kind of sitting out there. We're going to have needed that at some point. You don't actually have to do spin strats with Gold Sword, but that makes the time easier.
You just feel more comfortable with it after a while.
Especially like with Phase, to be honest, with like Phase 2 where he has the invincibility. After you do that first hit where he has the iframes for a little bit, and you just have to wait it out, it's not too bad. Alright, here, Meyer big chest. Nothing. Alright. We're starting to run low on stuff again.
Smith chain, anybody?
Yeah, this is what it's feeling like for Magno. He's going out next to Dark. He's going out Dark Hero game. Humbug's like, wow, now I have all the hot small keys. Smith chain is especially painful to seed. For those joining us late, Smiths are over at Eastern Entrance.
They finally went where they wanted you to go, by the way. You've been saying K45 forever.
Yeah, look, the guy got a skybox seat there.
Yep.
So this is going to be interesting. This is some divergence for Humbug versus Magno. It's just red rupees. I forget exactly where that shovel was that Magno somehow has it in. Oh, Humbug, that's right.
Mambo's tablet?
Yeah, I guess Bombo's tablet, and then you flew it over to Eastern. I don't think there's not a real good way to sequence Smiths with one of them being over like Eastern Palace. I guess neither of them checked this rock entrance either, so there is that. Magno really, really wants to find them. Though I kind of have to say, like right now, I feel like it's going to be very hard for Magno to win.
Yeah, agreed.
Just because, like, he's going to find the bow, and then at that point, he's just kind of sitting 4 minutes behind because of GT climb. Like, and I don't know if there's like 4 minutes where Humbug can waste it, that he's going to get all that time that Magno's going to get that time back that he needs. I guess Smith Chain is one way of doing it. I guess the only real thing is bow is on Mad Bad.
And the problem there is I feel like Humbug just has more done across the board. There isn't something that Magno's done that Humbug hasn't.
I think, well, other than Hobo, but like it's Hobo. Like that's not 4 minutes of checks.
Gross.
Do it. Get rid of the toad.
I was talking about the pod big key.
Oh, yeah, that's there too, I guess. So how did we find ourselves over here? Oh, you just used the dark rope mitts. We've seen Mimic Cave. We've seen Mini Wildorm. We've seen Blindside. We've seen the 5-item caves. Have we seen both? I know we've seen one of the fairies. Have we seen both of the fairies?
I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's any like item keys out there that we could have. Because right now, it could actually be on cold. It could actually be on Trinex if we can find the connector. The big key was okay. So this big key was not bow locked. So this is fine. Just bombs on Smith Chain, part 1.
And yeah, we're just going to get myths checks here. They're definitely going to rush those. So.
Yeah.
And I definitely, you can feel the franticness of it. Like, for Humbug, it's like, all I need is the bow. And Magno's like, I want to do GT probably, but I also want to wait for the bow before doing the climb.
Yeah. Which in his mind is going to be paid off as absolutely the right call, because his go mode is sitting post Moldorm too. Oh. Okay, here we go. I knew there was an item cave we hadn't seen, and it's just Chicken Hut, and it's logically required Chicken Hut at that. The best kind of Chicken Hut. Neither runner, I believe, actually bothered to ever check the. Nobody ever checked catfish, did they?
No, we got a catfish check.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, Humbug was able to do it.
Yeah, so Magno is pulling up the Rocket Dark Shopping Mall to discover it's a Spectacle Rock Cave.
Hey, there's that connector you said. I think we're about to get Arcana Samaria.
This is Arcana Samaria. So that actually is not a bad connector for Magno right there, because if he's smart about this, all he has to do is... Okay, that explains why I haven't seen Waterfall Fairy. It was nothing. All he has to do is step in the mirror portal, and hookshot yourself across the top of Death Mountain. You're not going to do that.
I'm surprised. I was about to say, where are you going, Humbug? I was thinking GT's our first choice. There we go.
Yeah, GT's probably your first choice because this is 6 items you can grid.
After that, I probably go to Laser Bridge, kill Trinex, and do front of TR.
Yeah.
Humbug is hunting a bow. And that's it.
Yeah.
Magno needs Eastern Big Key, which we know is at the top of GT, and a bow.
Yeah.
And at this rate, I think we know that Samaria was required for that bow.
Good.
Mushroom.
You know, this is a nice seed. We've got 17 hearts, red mail. Yeah. I feel like our last location is going to be Mad Bad for either. Wait, no, Mad Bad's bow locked. Never mind. So Castle Tower's off the table.
I mean, unless you really want to gamble,
The second bow, I know.
yeah. That's a play. I love the fact we have enough keys. Let's do it.
Open the forbidden door. Eastern Palace Big Key is post Moldorm to shelter Magno Mimic his way up the tower. So right now, realistically, we're really just hunting both for Gumbo for both of them. They just don't know it. Well, Humbug knows it. Magno will know it. But we also know that Powder's on the climb, so Powder is a dead check to us. Because it's bow locked, logically. So realistically, like right now, we're down to like four or five Samaria lock checks and the purple chest.
Yeah, this will be Laser Bridge, kill Trinex, end up at the front of TR, do that, then Green Pendant turn in and Mushroom turn in.
Yeah.
And even if, like, it's behind the mushroom or green pendant and Magno hits those first, I just don't see a way to hit it quick enough. Like, Humbug is just in a really good spot here to finish this.
Yeah, no, that getting to the top of GT mimic clipping, he was ahead, but it kind of just like cemented it because like he just knows it. Castle Tower's completely off the table now. But
down goes Trinex.
yeah.
For piece of heart. Jeez, this bow is really teasing us.
Yeah. Where was the magic shop? I marked it down. I feel like the magic shop was not hard to find. The magic shop's on Dark Death Mountain, as on East Death Mountain. So he might not have seen it, but it also probably isn't that hard to get to.
Ped cannot be the answer. We need a bow to get Ped.
Yeah.
Pod is a pendant, and Pod requires. Bow!
Oh, there we go.
All we have to do now is get over to Shopping Mall?
Yeah, we have to get to Dark Shopping Mall, and I think our best bet, yeah.
Yep. Humbug's taking it. He's running over to the portal here.
Yeah, I'd say Magno's probably good 10, probably be good 10 minutes out. He might find the bow before all said and done, but I don't think that's going to be the case. No, Dark Shopping Mall is this area over on the far side of Lake Hylia in the Dark World. This is where our Eastern Palace is located itself today. We have a cross-world entrance randomizer going on. So we need to come over here just to get to get our last couple checks to beat the game. Magno, unfortunately, kind of screws up the quick swap and tries to use an ice rod to light a torch.
Can't wait for Ganon to tell us where those silvers are.
Those silvers in the Dark World.
Well, it is Crosskeys. He's a little bit more transparent about places in Crosskeys.
And that stupid black chest. Magno opting not to go back to get the big chest, which is fair. Probably going to go do Trinex now. Yeah. Okay, so he will have the bow before the dot done. He won't have the Eastern Palace big key, but alas.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to point to something that Humbug had that was massive in this, I'd probably point to that mirror. How much earlier he got the mirror was just huge. That and the glove off of Desert Ledge.
The glove, I would probably say the glove. I also think Magno, Humbug's routing was a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
He didn't have to run back and forth. Like the mirror was just like unfortunate thing with resources. That was just like he ran himself. Magno accidentally ran out of bombs, which is you have to be good at resource management in this game. But like running out of bombs is just like that's just kind of an unfortunate thing. Like it's something that can happen. It rarely does happen, but it can happen. Really just like Magno skipped a lot of places and had to come back to them later. I don't know if you want to say that's because maybe he thought that Humbug was probably going to be favored in this matchup. I think when I said starting incoming on Jesse, I think that I'd probably say that Humbug was probably going to have an advantage in this race. I don't think there's a lot of people who probably disagree between the two of them. I think it wasn't like a sure thing or anything, but I think Magno is definitely a very, very strong cross. He's a very strong overall player. He's a very strong Crosskeys player. So maybe that factored into Magno's reasoning. I'm not sure. Because if you feel like you're going to be kind of sitting back, you're going to be a little more big on making cuts.
Yeah. Well, that's the hard part about this whole Survivors tournament is you look at the team makeup and it's just every race you're like, who are you going to pick? There's just so many great runners on every team. You're like, what do? You can't take a day off, ever.
Yeah. Especially like one of Humbug's teammates is Arior. Is a fantastic runner. Teamed with Flane and Big Dunka for a while in League. Teamed last year with Dante and some guy who uses a pug for everything. Andy.
And I mean, Dante's on one of the teams still in this as well. Like,
yeah, Dante's also on Magno.
Oh
my god! Actually, your team is facing Dante's team in the other semifinal. We should also be completely transparent about this.
I might be biased in saying that the teams are good.
Yes, they are good. And like some of the eliminated teams are also fantastic. You guys knocked off Illis, Lin, Shireen. There are a lot of fantastic runners.
Even with the fall at this point, Magno has to climb GT.
The GT climb is required.
Yeah, unfortunately for Magno, it's just not.
Yeah, he's doing a couple.
Wouldn't have been enough.
Yeah, he's doing a couple overworld things that are kind of in the way.
But yeah, get your GGs in chat for Humbug.
Yep, and with a official race time.gg time of 2:03:47, Humbug is the winner of this race and has put his team up 2-0. Magno is unfortunately forfeiting, which is understandable. He doesn't know where the Eastern Palace Big Key is, even though it's like 4 minutes left to climb.
Yeah.
So.
I think he realizes this is about the last place it could be.
We're going to try to get both of the runners in for an interview. GG's, Humbug.
Thank you. GG's.
Nice Silver's location.
So I'm just assuming. Well, they cannot be anywhere else than in Torch Room, like GT Torches.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. They were both just sitting in Turtle Rock.
Just find that disgusting connector to Floating Island, which is in the last place you look if you know you want to find the connector to Floating Island.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well,
it is what it is.
Yeah. I think it was a very good race. Magno just was about to start the climb, so he would have been in go mode, right when he got the top. He didn't mimic clip after getting the GT Big T. So that's kind of like that's kind of one of the bigger things that kind of sets you two apart. That's why we know where the silvers were before you found, because he obviously killed Trinex too, and then did the front, and then missing the Eastern Palace Big Key went and did the torch room as well. So that was definitely one of the wackier sets of bows I've ever seen. There's two of them.
I'd just say that they are fine. The bows are fine. It's Samaria that sucks.
Yeah.
Like you need mitts to get up there, but you also don't want to need the mitts to get up there because you just want to find that old lady connector somewhere else, since it will take you up there.
Yeah.
For more entrances or whatever, if you still need something. And that's my thought anyway. It was clear that was the only connector that was left very early. It was just a matter of GG's Magno. It was just a matter of do I need some Mario or not?
Yeah, I just couldn't find the old lady. I kind of wanted it because there was not much else left to do without the Zamaria. Where was Eastern Bicky? In the climb?
In the climb.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
post Moldorm too. That
Okay.
just. So Humbug Mimic flipped himself up the tower.
Okay.
So he was just hunting. So he never got silvers. He just got a bow.
Yeah, Sitters were also in Third Rock in the roller room.
Yeah, the bow, the compass chest bow was my goal, but I don't know about that the mimic clipping right there.
No.
I was debating in my head after I killed Cold Stare if I was going to do that or not. But I felt like the potential advantage of maybe finding the second bow up there would have been huge.
Yeah.
So I just feel like I have to.
I mean, if you're comfortable with it and don't
Yeah.
take 3 minutes, it's fine, I guess. Yeah.
They were trolling me in the second room. I clipped one back in. That wasn't good, but other than that, it went okay.
Yeah, if you're good with hovering, this is a Zamaria-less seat.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, just hover the front of Turtle Rock and this is a Mario seed. Easily.
Yeah. Or just come out of chain jumps. Just do that southward hover.
I think I did not find a single item from 1 hour to 1 hour 50. There was like such a big gap of finding anything. I think it would have been huge spotting the desert ledge because I just did not, and I
Same.
put off going to that area again for so long. And with mitts, I think I would have gotten the Zamaria a little bit earlier, and with that Zamaria, I would eventually do Turtle Rock or the front, since you have a spawn point right in the arrow game, and then climbing in this one is like a no-brainer. No,
of course.
But, I was just very unfortunate in my mind as well. I kind of forgot about the mountain entrances. I even went for Red Bomb like kind of twice because I had the Smith on my back when I went.
Oh no!
There. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
last
worst.
occasion, the lady connector.
Yeah, he just turns into a bomb when you get there. It's hilarious.
Yeah, we
myself to sacrifice him for a bomb.
Yeah, so actually, Magno, we were wondering, like, you fluted to 7 to 6 a couple of times and just never hopped off the ledge and just fluted somewhere else by accident, I guess. And we were just wondering, like, when were you ever going to, like, kind of look at the item on there and look, oh, that's a glove, I can get that immediately. And unfortunately, like, it took you
until I
probably 30, 40
blindly picked it up.
Yeah.
I
How
mean,
about that?
opening
How about
all-
those pod small keys, by the way?
Dude, so many pod smart.
They were vanilla, weren't they?
Like I had two.
Both of
I
them?
mean, I had 4 super early, and then of course 2 of them have to be in pod as well.
Yeah, it's a rule.
Yeah. When so the way you kind of routed it early on, and this was a point of like contention for us early, was Magno. You kind of went over to the Eastern Palace area and you got your fire rod before you went up and checked potion shop. Well, Humbug, you kind of flip flopped and you did potion shop and the well drop down later, before that. So Magno gets the Mire with a fire rod. You get the Mire without a fire rod.
Yeah.
And so obviously Magno, you decided to go to Mire with the fire rod because you could kill the Wizards. Humbugh, you didn't have anything to kill Wizards with.
Correct.
And so like we're sitting there and it's like, well, there's a kind of a time gap, but you know there is a pot small. That's going to be like important, right? Like,
Sure.
It was important to get the other pot small.
We were like,
I have so much respect for Sphere Zero Misery Maya, and with that hookshot, and I mean, I know there's just 2 chests in Logic without any keys, and with 1 key you have 4 checks in Logic.
Yes.
But I think I had 2 Maya small keys very early.
Yeah, we had Mire keys. I think there was a Mire key in the back of Escape, wasn't there? Like those the literal first checks I did. I think that was a Mire key. So it was in Logic to do it if you just got the fire rod, to do a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I ended up going there, hoping I didn't need Samaria eventually anyway. So.
Yep, so for my time you can just add a climb and Eastern boss, so I'm probably under 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes behind. 6 to 8, I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
8, more like 8. Yeah, I wasn't finding anything for a very long period of time.
Like I think the most the most stupid thing that happened in this seed was I was trying to be smart and cute and bomb jump a Spec Rock Cave. But I didn't have a glove, so I ended up in Dark Shopping Mall. So I was gonna try to I was gonna hook back and continue on the mountain the first time I was up there. But I didn't have a glove, so I just got stuck at Dark Shopping Mall, found Eastern, and just stood there for 5 seconds. Would Zelda do this or not? I think even Zelda would do Eastern now.
Yeah,
Zelda would do Eastern now.
yeah.
So and there was a lamp there, so that was fine. But
it could have been abandoned.
Could have been abandoned for all I knew. Yeah. Well, I think I actually knew it was a crystal at that point.
I think you both had the Eastern Palace map at that point.
Yeah, I think so.
But that actually did kind of end up working out really well for you because that you mirrored and then you went back into Paradox Cave and checked the Mire region instead, and then you got the first glove.
Yeah, that was important.
Well, it was just like one of those things. Like you're probably not going to get back there, and then I think if you both had scouted it, like obviously you both probably would have prioritized, like walking back into Mire, knowing that. You had to probably had to mirror yourself to get a glove from there, like that mirror that you couldn't actually get into Mire with Myths the Seed without getting in there once. So, like, it was a very, very good race. You guys did kind of going around doing a little bit of different things. Like Magno, you missed the hookshot early, so you had to do hookshot cave later. Different stuff, a little bit by that, but honestly, it was a very good race, and thank you both for putting it on.
Yeah, anytime. And thanks CSR for streaming, and thank you both for comment. Also, this tourney is great because it's moving along at a nice pace, but you really don't have it as a player. It's not hectic at all, and I really like that. So shoutouts to Movie for coming up with the tournament.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think hasn't really been mentioned, but I think overall they're about a week ahead of schedule right now in terms of rounds.
I think we are, yeah.
And I know that game 3 for this is scheduled Gamma, and I'm not sure who.
Yes, on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, on Easter. So, yeah, it's moving along pretty good. I
Sure.
thank you. I also want to thank Jesse. He just had a drop off at the end for stepping in at the last moment for comms, and thanks to our trackers, Leoria and Daruk, for coming in. Leoria on the last minute as well. So.
Yeah, thanks everyone for doing comms, tracking, restream stuff. GG Humbugh. Thank you guys for watching. And I hope that Ravis and Gamma will take it and at least have like maybe game 5, 6, maybe 7.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm cheering for my guys now.
Thanks, Ari, for putting it out there that we totally didn't need Samaria this seed. And thanks to our restreamers, Zingdeen, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask, for getting this organized today. So.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, well, you guys took care of all of the things I was going to say, so I appreciate that. But yeah, great job, great comms, great race, fantastic GG's Humbugh, and great race Magno as well. So that was fantastic to watch and to listen to. So yeah, let's send everyone on their way and find someone to raid. Thank you everyone in chat for coming out. That was a ton of fun. And yeah, we as mentioned, I think the next Link to the Past race is Sunday. Gamma versus Telepar, 2:30 Eastern on AD Keys. It looks like Game 4 semifinals. So that'll definitely be a good one, and we'll do our best here at ZSR to get that one going for you. So yeah, to everyone here in the ZSR family, would like to say have a great day. Any last comments from you guys here in the booth?
Just have a nice day, everyone.
Yeah. See everyone next time. GG's.